and then just work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week. And then
a lot of work.
all those things improve the odds of success.
Okay.
I mean, if other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that in 1 year you will achieve what they achieve. You will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
I'd say the one common thread of anybody that I work with is successful. Financial, athletes, people in politics, it's hunger. You and I both know intelligence is a pretty damn valuable tool, but there are a lot of very smart people who can't fight their way out of a paper bag. And then when you find somebody who has that hunger, the hunger that doesn't go away, that hunger to be more, to do more, to give more, that hunger that never ends, that's how you get these people that are the best in the world at whatever they do. And so if you can, I think everybody has that hunger, but for some people it's been asleep for a long time because they're afraid. They're afraid that I'm gonna get hungry, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna fail. And so it's human nature to protect yourself from the fear by just lowering your expectations. But one of the things I've learned is you get what you tolerate. You get what you tolerate in yourself, you get what you tolerate in your life, and sooner or later we sometimes hit a point where we say, not another day, not another hour, this is done. I'm not walking this way, I'm not talking this way, I'm not living this way, I'm not gonna be in this relationship anymore, I'm gonna change it. And when people do that, that's the beginning of a breakthrough.
Help to create a different vision for myself. Some of you are already doing it right now. I'm saying this is a time more than ever that you want to begin to inoculate yourself with positive words, coming to conventions, showing up on meetings, being on the calls, to make yourself unstoppable, to get out of your mind the polluting negative thoughts that's causing most people to go through life being stuck because they're volunteer victims. Somebody said that many people die at age 25 and don't get buried until they're 65 because they got so much garbage in their minds. You are here because you've got a clear vision of what you want and where you're going. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, bring your energy level up. Yes, yes. You want more. You want more. You're different. You're different than everybody else. Don't worry if they don't get it. Don't try and convince people to do this business. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You are not like everybody else. You can walk outside and find pigeons, but if you're looking for eagles, it's going to take you a minute. You are different. It's lonely at the top. How many of you know it's lonely at the top? Raise your hands. It's lonely at the top, but you eat better. That's what I'm talking about.
The secret is there's certain times, don't think. Like when you get up in the morning, don't think. Just roll out of bed, go in your life cycle, or go on a bicycle ride, or go to the gym, work out. You know that's what you have to do. And then read something and learn something. So don't even think about it. But there's other times where you have to really think and you really have to get creative and have a clear vision of where you want to go and what you want to do. And that's what I always had, and that's what I always believed in. I always believed in making money so that then you can do something with that. You invest in it and all this. Eventually you create a family, you give something to your kids and all that stuff, but also for charity. Look, I have the Schwarzenegger Institute at USC.
Yeah.
And so we have to raise money all the time and make money to pay for that and to support that. We have the R20, the environmental organization. Well, any organization and any idea is great, but if you don't have the money, you can't implement anything. Yeah. And so this is why it is important that if it's an environmental organization or if it is my after-school programs that are nationwide where we raise millions and millions of dollars every year, or if it is just, living in a great mansion or driving a nice Bentley and a Bugatti. This kind of things, it takes money to do all this kind of stuff. So therefore, I believe in making $1 into two and having a good time.
I mean, the reality is, reading a book or going to a conference or having a great conversation where you get this golden information, that's all fantastic. But what makes mastery is execution on the ideas, not the ideas. And so no idea works unless you're willing to roll up your sleeves, do the practice, invest the time, put in the effort, do the work. I think we've all observed a lot of people who they love reading the books. They love showing up at the courses. They do all the online training and nothing ever changes. And they say, well, I don't know why it doesn't change, why my life doesn't change, why my thinking doesn't change, why my performance doesn't change, why my relationships don't change. Well, it's because ideas don't work if you don't execute on them. So if you look at the great business builders, you look at any great performer, one thing that makes them great is their grit. One thing that makes them great is their hunger to practice. One thing that makes them great is they are willing to sacrifice. I mean, yes, they're passionate, but did you know the root of the word passion is suffering? You've got to be willing to suffer for your vision. You've got to be willing to suffer to reach BIW, best in world. You've got to be willing to suffer the ridicule and laughter of your critics and your cynics to get to a place called world class.
The fifth one is about mindset. And the mindset shift is to appreciation. Because the truth is, oftentimes, everything what we're trying to get, we're focused on what we don't have. And if you can shift your mindset simply from not focusing on what I lack, but what I have, and shift it from not focusing on the bottom of that ladder, the stuff, but to the connection and the growth, that is the shift that will lead to the most lasting happiness. We have access to this at all times of our life. Even in the annoying moments when we're standing in line and it's 20 minutes to get out of the food store, you can focus on the fact that you're 20 minutes late. What you don't have is your time. Or you can focus on the fact that you have food surrounding you from all kinds of the world, and you live literally better than kings did 100 years ago, because they couldn't get grapes, right? They were on the other side of the planet. So depending on what you compare yourself to, if you're alive today, if you're watching YouTube, if you're on the internet, you literally live better than kings did not very long ago. You are in the top 0.1% of lucky people who have ever lived. So no matter what's going on in your life, I know that there will be things that knock you down, things that suck, reasons to be unhappy, but there's always a reason to bounce back if you shift your focus to what you have compared to what you don't. So I hope you find that helpful. I hope that you can focus on what you appreciate. And if you take one thing from this right now, write down or say in your head, one thing that is common to your life, that is little, that maybe you don't notice all the time, that you appreciate right now. And I think that that'll make you have a much better day. And if you can keep it up, that habit will give you a much happier life.
The easiest way to build self-confidence. There's no magic button. I can't say, hey, this plane is going down. Who can fly it? Put your hand up. I can. I'm confident. Repetition, 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 right? What does Malcolm Gladwell call it? The 10,000 hour rule? There's no magic button. I recruited a goalie from Colombia, South America one year. Big, tall, 6'3" man. He had hands like stone. I thought he was like Flipper. Every time I throw him the ball, down onto the ground. It was like, oh my God, we're in trouble. Simple solution. Get to the wall, kick a ball against the wall and catch it. Kick the ball against the wall and catch it. His goal was 350 a day for 8 months. He came back, his hands were calloused, the moisture on his hands were literally gone. He is now playing in Europe. Magic? No. Repetition, repetition, repetition. The problem is we expect to be self-confident, but we can't be unless the skill or the task we're doing is not novel, is not new to us. We want to be in a situation where we've had so much pressure in that, and what I mean, because pressure builds diamonds, we want to be in a situation where, hey, I've done this 1,000 times. I did my speech, I practiced in front of the mirror, hey, I'm sounding good. And then I read in front of my kids and my wife. It's like, oh gosh, got a little nervous. Then I get in front of Glenn Gould, oh my goodness, I'm a little more nervous. By the time I get to the ACG, where 2,500 people, can't say anymore, right? 2,500 people, where 2,500 people are there, I won't have a single ounce of nervousness because of my ability to practice, right? Over and over and over again. The problem with repetition is, how many of us bail after the first bit of failure? How many of us bail after the first bit of adversity? Edison was on that video. And depends who you ask, there's anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 tries to build that light bulb. 1,000 to 10,000. J.K. Rowling should be on that video. You know how many publishers she took her Harry Potter book to? I believe the number was 12 or 13. I'm pretty confident, but after 2 or 3 no's, I'd be like, dang it. After 6 or 7, I'm like, maybe not. Definitely after 9 or 10, I'd be looking to be a soccer coach or something else beside an author, right? I mean, 12 times somebody said no. But Practice, 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 and do not accept failure. Maybe it shouldn't be repetition. Maybe the answer should be persistence. Because we all repeat something, but very few of us really will persist. So that's one way to build self-confidence. Get out there, do what you want to do, and do not accept no.